Good afternoon. My name is Virgila Sharma, and today my group and I will be talking about the Dutch colonization in America, along with their interaction with the natives and the impact they had on society. So let's get started. So first of all, here is the picture of the Dutch flag. As you can see, it's a simple red, white, and blue flag. And then moving on, here is a map of the region they colonized. So as you can see here in blue, you can see that they mainly colonized in present-day New York. Okay, so you may wonder why the Dutch colonized in present-day New York. Well, it was mainly because of the lucrative fur trade, which is found in this region. And also, one of the most common motives was to get land and wealth so it can boost its economy. So let's go ahead and get started on the locations.
I'm Emily Nekui. Beverwijck is what is now present-day Albany. Prior to colonizing, the Dutch were proficient in a system of merchants and sailors. But when they colonized, they switched their focus to trading with the natives, especially the Iroquois tribe. They used wampum, which are shell beads, as currency to trade for pelts and other goods and land. Their relation with the Iroquois tribe helped to maintain Beverwijck as the center of the fur trade. The Dutch always took pride in their ideal of liberty. So at first they were against the practice of slavery, but in order to achieve their economic goals, they set aside their morals and eventually used enslaved labor. This contributed to the American norm of enslaved labor as a means of profit.
Hi guys! So our second location of the day is present-day Manhattan, which at that time, prior to the arrival of Dutch, was called Manhattan. In this region, at that time, the Mincy people, who were part of the Lenape tribe, were recognized as the first settlers in Manhattan. They were a very tight-knit community. So, when the Dutch arrived in Manhattan the first time, the relationships between the natives and the Dutch were peaceful, until the time when there was a transaction misunderstanding between the two, as Peter Manu, who was in charge of Dutch in that area, gave the natives 60 guilders, which is also $24, in terms of goods, as a way to acknowledge that they had bought the land. However, the natives thought that the Dutch and the natives were going to share the land together. In the end, however, the Dutch got ultimate authority of the land and changed the name from Manhattan to New Amsterdam. Finally, the Dutch and the Dutch/European method of buying of land is still seen today in the 21st century. So let's go ahead and go to the next location.
I'm Elena Spall. Fort Nassau South River was actually the second location named Fort Nassau. This one was located where Big Timber Creek and the Delaware River meet, and this would also be in modern-day Gloucester City, New Jersey. The Dutch settlers in this area had a lot more relaxed rules and cultural norms, so they didn't really force assimilation at all and didn't really mind non-Dutch people. A big part of their culture was trading with the natives, specifically fur, which they used to produce clothing. Another aspect of their culture was how they went about celebrating holidays. So Christmas and New Year's were seen as days to gather and drink with friends instead of the Puritan traditions of going to church and strict prayer. This started an influence of how we celebrate holidays in a more lively and celebratory manner today.
My name is Rachel Valente, and I'll be talking about the racial interactions between the Dutch and Iroquois Indians in Wiltwyck, New York, also known as present-day Kingston. Unlike other European settlers, the Dutch did not focus on religious conversion while in contact with Native Americans. They instead focused on trading. They had a fur trade alliance with the Iroquois. This introduced new diseases such as smallpox and influenza. While the Iroquois population was affected, they were able to remain strong due to their alliance with the Dutch. This is where we see natives begin to gain immunity to diseases because they weren't as impactful. This interaction between the Dutch and natives influenced American society as the trade interactions impacted the society's cultural, social, and economic aspects and left an impact on future generations. The picture shows Dutch and Iroquois Indians interacting through their fur trading.
I'm Matthew Zhao. Houdorp, currently known as Old Town, was the first settlement on Staten Island in New Netherlands. Henry Hudson founded this settlement, yet never really got anyone to settle. Later on, the governor of New Netherlands started giving out land grants, which led to French Huguenots and Dutch settlers starting to settle. This town was never the most influential in terms of economic and social factors, but today it is a tourist attraction and is a large commercial and transport center.
Thank you guys for listening. Have a great rest of your day.